Hello everyone, hope you're well. It's been so long since I've done a video. I almost forgot how to do it. I was sat there today thinking, what do I need to set up? What am I missing? And it wasn't intentional. I didn't intend to have like a week off from vlogging. Well, as I mentioned before, me and the family went to the Sea Life Centre, Lego Discovery Land, and it was my birthday this week. My big plan was to film at the Sea Life Centre, film at the Discovery place, and then just do a video that night, and then do a birthday one yesterday. What kind of happened instead was we went down to Birmingham on Monday morning, so we got up and we went down there, and we'd booked our entry at like 11:30. So we managed to arrive in Birmingham at like 11:20, and we were in a bit of a mad. But luckily our hotel was literally next to it, so we went in there. It was all good. Got my camera out. Asked Ollie, where are we? What's going on? And he's like, we're at the Sea Life Centre. And then he wasn't, to be honest, he wasn't particularly up for it. And I was a bit out of sorts. I don't know really why. Maybe it's the fact that we'd gone all that way. But I was talking to him and it just felt really random. And I played it back and I thought, I'm not happy with that. So I tried to record it again. But because I'd already asked him the questions, he was a bit like, what do you want from me? So that felt odd. And I thought, that's all right, I could do an intro later. And then as we went through it, every time I filmed something, I played it back, it was like pitch black. It didn't look it in the room, but it was just pitch black. So from a filming a vlog point of view, complete write-off that day. I just thought, I'm not gonna bother. I think I got maybe an hour in of trying to film bits and bobs, and just thought, do you know what? I'm not going to enjoy it if I spend all day worrying about the quality of the videos that I've recorded when, like, it's just not going to work. I've not got a fancy camera, I've not got kit and all of that. So here I am talking about the awesome week we've had. It was very good fun. So yeah, the Birmingham Sea Life Centre, just as we were getting there, my mate told me he'd been before and he thought it was grim. And I was like, well, that's not what I want to hear as I'm about to go on my family day out, you plonker. Like, what a thing to say to someone. But we went in there and it wasn't grim at all. I really enjoyed it. We had a great day. The kids had a great day. Claire had a great day. And I'm glad we went. It was dark, as I mentioned. You could tell they'd had to try and fit a lot into a small space. That's probably the thing that I would say, which is a little bit worrying when you think about the fact that there's sea life living there and they're used to big areas. So I was a little worried about some seals they had living there, but Claire assured me they have an underground swimming bit. It expanded quite dramatically, so I felt a lot better about that. I always have those sorts of worries. I know they're rescues and they're there to be looked after, but you do worry that they're being kept in something smaller than my kitchen. But she'd also thought about it and she'd done the research, so that's cool. But yeah, we went there. We saw penguins on the way in. When I was trying to talk to Oliver at that point, he was just trying to grab the camera and show me the penguins. I was like, let's just go look at them. And that was awesome. They're swimming around up and down. And it turns out Emily doesn't remember the time we saw penguins and they pecked me because we were in the penguin enclosure. I know I've talked about it before. There's a picture I put out on Twitter. We got in an enclosure up north. I can't remember what the safari park's called now. It's like near the Lake District. And when I went there, when I was younger, you could feed the penguins. When we went in there later on, there was people in there. We went in. Then the tanner, I think, came over saying we shouldn't be in there, and the penguin started pecking at us and stuff. She was about 3, 2-ish. She doesn't remember any of it. I remember it quite vividly because it was a bit dramatic and a bit awesome at the same time. But we had a good chat about that, and she saw the penguins up close. They were right up at the glass in front of you. It was very cool. Saw starfish, which Ollie thought was fascinating. I had a cool, except for being dark, there's a video of him going, look, there's 1, there's 2. So he's counting them all up, and I was filming him, seeing if he could jump higher than a penguin because they can jump over 2 meters. We saw the seals, as I mentioned. They were doing all sorts of tricks and showing off and, being generally cute and awesome. That was very fun. I'm trying to think what else they had. We tried to go in the 4D video at first, and Ollie was really against it. He started to get to the end of his tether after about an hour and a half. I think the whole trip round was about 2 hours-ish. But we'd got to the end after an hour and a half because we'd skipped the 4D video, and we went to the shop, and then Claire and Emily were saying, well, I want to see the video. So we convinced Ollie that he did want to see it, and we trekked all the way back to it. And I've got to be honest, it probably wasn't, for a male adult grown-up point of view, even from a female adult point of view, sorry, I don't know why I haven't mentioned that was male. From an adult point of view, it's not really that worth queuing for, but the kids loved it. So obviously if you're taking kids to it, you sit and watch the video. It's like these animated sea creatures all talking and cracking jokes and looking at stuff, and they're trying to find their lucky pebble or something. It kind of wasn't very educational. It was just an odd character thing. I was a bit like, why is this here? They could have used this room for another thing. I don't know. When they talked about it, I thought it was going to be a video about whales or something. You know, go in there, watch a video about sea life, and it'd be all kind of cool because you're surrounded by the proper documentary, like Blue Planet style stuff, but it wasn't. It was an animation. But as I say, kids loved it. It was good for them. They bought these squidgy things that you can't hold on the way out. They're like these long blue sausage things. They look a little bit weird and a little bit naughty, but they're just squeezing them and flipping them about. And yeah, it was a complete waste of money. But you know what kids are like. I said to them, you know, we're going to the Lego place. You could wait. And they didn't want to wait. So they didn't. And that was that. We didn't plan very well about our 2 days because I think if we'd really tried, we could have probably done both things in one day and then had the next day off to just chill out in Birmingham. But what we did was we finished in there. We started at 11:30. We were definitely out by about 2, maybe 2:30ish, because our check-in was about 2ish. So we kind of were quite close to that. We went back to our hotel, checked in, laid on the bed. I had a kip for like 45 minutes. And when I woke up, I was like, surely we're not just going to sit here and do now. So we ended up getting a taxi into Birmingham city centre, which was quite cool because like, the kids aren't used to going in taxis. Ollie was telling us how much he loved us all. And he said, I quite like you, Mr. Taxi Stranger Man, as well, and which was all quite funny. I forgot do you know what? Talking about Ollie being funny, and I'm annoyed with myself because I've ruined my whole narrative here for storytelling. The one thing that this vlog aims to do properly, and I failed. But the best thing happened. Ollie was running around looking at things all excited. I'm keeping track of him. I looked at something, looked back and was like, oh my God, I can't, where's Ollie gone? I can't find him. And I could see him standing at like a glass container, just kind of going with something in his hand. And as I'm getting closer to him, the silhouette of it, I was like, oh my God, he's got a seahorse from somewhere. How, like he's standing in front of the seahorse enclosure playing with a live seahorse. And I was just like, that was the first thought I went to. It's probably a bit dramatic. I was like, oh dear Lord. People were around him. I thought, what has he done? And then this woman stepped out and took it and gave it to somebody else to hold. And it turned out it was like a dried seahorse. It was like a dead one that had dried out and whateverized. And Emily got to hold it, and he was telling me all about it. But I was like, oh, thank God. It genuinely looked like he was on his own, just playing with one he'd scooped out of the blooming container. And yes, say like I just panicked, but he said it felt plastic. But Emily said when she held it, it seemed a bit more. It wasn't plasticky; it was something else. She said, and it felt real. And the woman was explaining it was a proper seahorse that they'd got out and done whatever with when it had died. So that was very cool for him. But I had a moment of sheer panic. So yeah, we went into Birmingham, and as we were parking, Claire said, "Look out there. There's a comic shop. I can't remember what it's called now. I know exactly where it is, by the Debenhams, outside the Bullring, just down the road from it. You know, I could walk there now, like if you just plop me down there, I know, but I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But what makes me laugh is, whenever I go to Birmingham with Kev, and Pab, we always trek from the station and the Bullring across to Forbidden Planet and this other one this man runs, where it's a little bit intimidating, and he asks you what you like to read and then starts trying to show you stuff. I'm 99% sure we've never been to the really easy to get to one before. Normally we walk for miles, so I'm going to ask them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we've been there a bajillion times and I've just forgotten. But we went into the comic shop and the kids were well excited. And again, despite being told again and again and again and again, we're going to the Lego shop tomorrow. Emily spent all of her money on a Harry Potter wand. I think it was Dumbledore's wand, which she wants to take to Harry Potter World next week. So I was like, that's fair enough. It's your money and that's quite cool. Ollie wanted like every poster they'd got, and we kind of held him off on that. But they had loads of cool stuff. I started just flicking through comics they had and seeing what they had there. I didn't actually get anything in the end, which I felt a bit stupid for, because I dragged the family in there and then I just chickened out. Again, I kind of got intimidated by the fact that they know a lot about comics, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I just find that whole... I wouldn't do that in a bookshop. I don't know, this is a bit of an aside, but I don't know why I do it in comic shops. I start fretting that I don't know enough about what I'm about to buy, so I don't buy it until I've gone and done loads of research, and it just seems really weird. But again, I wouldn't do that with books, and I never have, and never done it with games, so I don't know. Weird. But yeah, we went out for pizza then and chilled out. We just wandered around the Bullring for a bit. I realised they had the Pokemon Go Stardust event thing on, so I just spent most of my time completely churning through that. I managed to get 500,000 Pokemon Dust in like the space of 3 days because I was just grinding it, which I'm sure was lovely for Claire, but the kids didn't care and I had a great time. So yeah, on the next day, the Tuesday, we got up nice and early, had breakfast. It's really nice having a hotel breakfast, even though I can't eat the meat that's there. There's just so much stuff. I felt like I ate everything in sight. The kids ate loads. It was brilliant. Everyone ate loads and loads and loads. Mentioning that and the pizza actually, because Ollie doesn't obviously. As most of you know, when you've got a child with autism, they don't eat much. They kind of eat chicken nuggets and chips and stuff that they like, and it's just that they stick to. But Ollie ate so much in these 2 days; it was fantastic. He ate all of his pizza, all of his, all of his chips, all of his salad. He just kept going back for more. He just kept sort of we didn't mind that he ate half of something, and when he got something else, it was like whatever, just fill up. You never eat, so just do it. But he's very much a snacker at home. Just sifts through snacks all day long. But they devoured the Premier Inn breakfast. That was quite cool. So the Discovery Place was like a 5-minute walk from the hotel as well. It was around the corner from the Sea Life Centre. They're both owned by Merlin. So again, it was kind of set out similarly in that they both had their own 4D videos. They both had their areas for you to buy stuff and play in. And you could have, we didn't do this, but you could have bought a ticket for the Sea Life Centre and a ticket for the Lego place and paid like a little bit difference between the two. But we worked out if we got like a buy one get one free on this one and buy one get free on that one, it was like 20 quid cheaper. So I spent a lot more time on it than probably needed to, but we saved a lot of money. So I was like, yeah. But anyway, the Lego place, again, I really wanted to film. And I got some clips I could have used, but it didn't really work. The problem I had with this one, there was so many people for a start, so it was like I kept stopping and getting in everyone's way. And again, I know for like a Kev, that's quite that's not a problem, I'll just crack on with it. But I felt like an absolute loser just there with my phone going, oh yeah, we're at the Lego Discovery Centre. What's this giant giraffe thing that I took a picture of and put on Twitter? I filmed walking around some of the bits, and I thought, well, this only works if I've got a proper video going, and that's B-roll or whatever. And again, I was just like, we went on a ride where they literally said, put your phone away as I got on it. And I was like, well, this kills this. So we did a shooting ride where you have to go around trying to save the princess and the dragon from other stuff. I had Ben under one arm, so I had 2 guns, but got destroyed by Claire both times. We did the ride. We did it at the beginning and at the end. She got like 100,000 and I got like 95,000 across my 2 guns. I was like, damn it. Even with an extra gun, I couldn't beat her. She's the fastest gun in the West. But the kids loved that. Ollie, bless him, his scores were always like in the 2,000 range. I always felt a bit like, what was he looking at? I think he was just taking in the story and enjoying it all, and the processing delay there, obviously. But he didn't mind. He seemed to love it. He didn't care that his score was quite a lot behind. I was worried because I could see it on the machine, and I'm thinking, come on, just like accidentally hit something, thinking he might kick off, because he did when we were in America. He got a bit upset about one of the rides where we'd all done better than him, but he just took it in his stride. He was fine. There's a massive layout of Lego bits they built that look like Birmingham buildings, like the Cadbury building, the Bull Ring, and all sorts of cool stuff. There was a machine there where you could tilt and try and score goals for Birmingham. It was just loads of really cool stuff. Again, I was trying to film it and all the lights went off. And I was just like, now all it is blue lines. I thought, this is not built for being vlogged in, which is probably not a concern for them. But it was a concern for me because I'd obviously set my entire plan for the vlog that week around it. But honestly, I think the only time I could have comfortably vlogged, I was in a room where they were just playing non-stop pop music, and I thought, that's just going to get me all sorts of strikes to tell me I can't put it on the internet, or if I do, it's got... I'm not worried about monetizing them because I'm not exactly living off it. I haven't made any money out of doing vlogging, but I just thought, I don't know how that all works. I don't want the faff, so I chickened out then because I was like, right, I've made it to the end. We'd gone on... there was a ride that went up and down. You had to pedal on it. I didn't go on that because I ain't pedaling. I held Ben while the others went on it. They had a cool thing. Again, I didn't get a copy of it, and I wanted a copy of it, but there's no way of me doing it. Emily made a stop-motion Lego video where her Lego man's running after someone, and then something blows up, and it was all this, that, and the other. She disappeared, and we were looking everywhere for her, because we let her roam free. We're not trying to like keep her in eyesight. She's old enough, as long as she knows to not leave. When we were near the exit, it was kind of all right. But we wanted to go say to her, we're going soon, and Claire found her in this room, and she'd made this full-on video, and we were like, that's awesome. I might try and encourage her. I'll see if she's into it still or something like that. But she made a good little video. It's quite cute. They played on some big action stationy thing where you run around through all the different Lego buildings, and there's lots of pools of Lego where you could build cars and houses and whatever. Ollie kept running around with a 2-wheeled well, it was like 2 wheels and a piece of a car, and showing it to kids who built full-blown cars. And I'm like, Ollie, come on, build something. And I did start to get a little bit anxious about his skills, his social skills with it, because he kept just harassing them to say, look at what I've built, and they're like, that is literally 4 pieces of Lego. And I'm like, I know you're proud of it, but let's see how big we can get it. I'm trying to be really polite to him and say, you've not built anything, let's go and try and build something. Look at what they've built, let's go build some. And oh, bless him, but Claire was like, just leave them to it. And they were all right, they got on. I'm trying to think what else so we went in the, yeah, they had a 4D cinema as well, and they had, so they showed 3 different shows. We only saw one. It was the Lego City Undercover video, but they also would have had a Lego Ninjago and a Lego Movie 4D film. The City Undercover one was like the cop just chasing a villain, and every time, like, they'd do a car chase, and then they'd do a boat chase, and then they'd do like a plane chase, helicopter chase, whatever it was. A bit like the Peter Griffin chicken fights in Family Guy. They'd just keep fighting it out, chasing each other. Every time he thought he was stuck, this woman would appear and she'd give him the vehicle he needed. She was I think he was her partner or whatever, and they'd try and catch the villain. So it was very entertaining, and they kept spraying us with water, and like 3D hot dogs would come out the screen and stuff like that. The kids absolutely loved that. I think that really capped it all off. We were well happy. We come out, we had something to eat, and then we just did the long drive home. Claire had driven us there, so I had to drive back, and I was just like, oh. By the time I got back, I was exhausted. But no, that was a great 2 days. So I was very, very satisfied. We were all very happy. And then I got to have my 34th birthday yesterday. I know I did lots of videos about I don't know what I want, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. What we ended up doing was going to see Spider-Man Far From Home, which I won't spoil, obviously, but was absolutely, completely different to what I expected it to be, and it was fantastic. The adverts completely tricked me, hook, line and sinker. I completely fell for everything they'd said it was going to be about, and loved it. It was so, so cool. I love the Marvel films. I know that's pretty cliche at this point. I don't know, everyone loves them pretty much, but I do. They're so good. I'm very satisfied with them. I ended up getting quite a bit of alcohol, gin, beer. My sister bought me a monthly subscription to a thing where they send you a bottle of gin and some mixers. I drank that last night, not just on my own. Claire had one, I had one, and then I went to get a second one and realised I'd finished the bottle, and I was like, whoops. But that was very, very nice gin, so thank you very much to her. I ended up getting a lamp for vlogging with, so that this should be a bit brighter at some point. I went to set it up earlier and was like, oh my god, that's a lot of pieces, and I don't know where the hell I'm going to store it when it's made. I'm a little bit nervous about what I'm going to do with it, because I don't want to set it up and then it breaks, so I'm making do at the moment, but the idea is that will go behind me or to the side of me. I don't know where it goes. I think if it goes behind me, I'll end up with a big phone shadow. If it goes there, I'll have a big shadow over there. I don't really know how you do it, or whether I needed 2 either side or something, but I'll figure it all out. I may just end up getting my other lamp above, just shining down to get rid of the shadows or something. I don't know. I'll work it out. And let's face it, the production values are not exactly amazing on this. I got a new laptop tray, which I absolutely love. Weirdly and lamely and geekily, I was so satisfied with how comfortable that was yesterday. I put my laptop on my lap with that, and my phone on the side, because the one I had was really narrow and it didn't really fit my legs. And I don't think that was a being fat thing. I think it was just being an adult thing. This one's much wider, has a wider top. I can fit more things on it. I can have a cup of tea there. It all just seems really good. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll get so much writing and stuff done on this, so that'll be cool. I got chocolate sweets. Claire bought me some vegetarian sweets that are like Haribo's, but vegan. So that was really exciting. She got me a t-shirt, a bit like this one, except there's a Tottenham logo on the chest. I need to lose a little bit of weight on that one. It was, I think the style is to be tight. Like it fit me perfectly, but it was really pushing on my shoulders, and that was just really irritating me. I kind of got used to it after a couple of hours, but other than that, it was comfortable. It was nice. I really like it. It fits fine, but it's just really pushing on me. And I thought maybe if I was a little bit smaller, it might not push as much. But considering I didn't know what I wanted, she did some good stuff there with some little bits and bobs. I realised the day before my birthday, just as we didn't really have any money left because we'd been away and spent it all, that I wanted Wonder Boy on the Switch. I don't know if any of you have played Wonder Boy on the Master System 20 years ago, but it got remastered on the Switch, so I'm going to get that tomorrow when we get paid, and I'm well excited about that because I played it when I was about 11 and thought it was one of the best ideas for a game ever. It's actually I have a game in my head I really want to make, and it's a little bit inspired by Wonderway in a very hard to. If I said that and then I released the game, people wouldn't think that if they played it. They wouldn't think, oh, this is inspired by this. But it is in my head. It gave me part of the idea. I also got a text from Anna telling me that Final Fantasy VIII is out next week on the Switch and other consoles remastered. So I'm definitely getting that. Claire's going to buy me that next week. So all in all, it was weird. It was just like in that 12 hours between like just before going to bed and just getting up, I realised 2 games I wanted and loads of stuff happened. Pokemon Go released the Jirachi story quest, which I was like bang on my birthday that came out, and I was just like, yes. So that's me for the next week playing that. They released like 20, 30 other random things. It was brilliant. I'm trying to think what else happened. I got other stuff. What else did I get? It was mainly chocolate, sweets and beer, to be fair. I spent the day, I say, watching Spider-Man, played some games, chilled out with the family. In the evening, I think we were so worn out. I was like, I really want to do something to mark the day. And all we did in the end was watch Archer on Netflix. But even that, seemingly, it felt like it knew it was my birthday because it did exactly what I've been wanting it to do for a while. And that was a really good ending to the season. So I just felt really good. I felt like I'd had a few drinks. I'd had a chill out. I knew what I was getting. Problem solved. And then, here we are today. Today, all we've done, I took Ollie to a birthday party. I was a bit nervous because it was in someone's back garden and it was all he was so excited, he was bouncing, but he was really good. He was fine. They did ask if anyone wanted to play Pass the Parcel, and he shouted, no, it's a stupid game for babies. Because his friend had said it and he shouted it. So I had to go and say, that's really rude, don't be rude. The DJ was, I think, the boy's dad, and I was just like, don't be rude, you mustn't say stuff like that. And he was like, okay. So then he didn't take part in any of those games, which is probably a good thing because he can't take losing. And it was like Pass the Parcel, musical statues and stuff like that, and he just didn't want to play them. And I thought, well, yeah, you always move, so you'd have been out. He doesn't pass the parcel on, he holds it thinking the music's going to go off, and when he does pass it on and it goes off, he's really annoyed. So I was kind of relieved he didn't bother. And they did a pinata, which he was a bit miffed. He was late in the queue on, but then got a good smash of it and had great fun. So yeah, that was all cool. And right before I did this, the big thing that's happened today, the funny thing that's happened today, a few of you know from following me on Twitter that I've been ranting about a local spoofer who's been cheating on Pokemon Go. He knocks out everyone from every gym in the town. He's completely ruining the game for everyone. And every now and again I try and find them online, see if I can find any details of their username or whatnot. And today I typed the username in on Reddit, and a week ago, 2 people were looking for him because they're ruining their hometowns in Kansas and somewhere in the UK, which I'm assuming is around here. But this person is basically spoofing to Kansas and Deeping and wherever else and ruining the game for all these people. So I was like, yes! I've sent that to the Antec, and I'm like, look, this is not just me. Other people complaining. Do something. And I feel like my problem might be solved there. But yeah. I know that's a very me problem, and when I told my friends, they're all a bit like, it doesn't really affect us, but I'm excited because it just feels like the universe is sort of ticking boxes for me. Sometimes, Kev's had this thing before, I've had this discussion before, sometimes I do worry I live in some kind of convoluted TV show because things always seem to fall into place eventually. But maybe that's just because I put a lot of effort into trying to solve problems and not because of some weird Truman Show thing. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up now. And I realise the irony of me saying that whilst filming my life, talking about my life, because it'd be a vlog within a vlog within a show within a thing. I lost track of my levels there, but yeah, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to stop talking. You could tell that I've been looking forward to coming back and doing a vlog because this is like double length. I'm sorry it's double length. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to my new subscribers because Kev kindly put a thing out on Twitter saying subscribe to me. It's a birthday present. That was very kind. I knew there was something I'd forgotten. I appreciate that. I'm hoping I'm going to do some work with him next week because I'm off, but I don't know whether I know he's going away and stuff like that, but we were talking about doing something if we could. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if you've got any questions about the Birmingham stuff, any of the events. Let me know how you're doing. Any questions you'd like me to cover in future vlogs, because I like answering questions and rabbiting on about those random topics you throw at me, and all that stuff. If you want to hear more from me rabbiting, I'm on the Mature Gamer podcast Friday night. So yeah, tune in there. I've not done that before, but I thought that might be a good thing a little plug for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.